We all continuously build and we just allow ourselves to be the best version of ourselves. My note taker isn't working, so we're going to scrap that and we're just going to stream directly. Allow ourselves to be the best version of ourselves. We're just going to stream directly to YouTube if that's okay with everyone. As usual, my name is DK Jonah and I am your host. I'll be taking you through this journey, and my aim is not just to feed you with information, but to give you the tools you need to make what matters happen. That's what we always say. We don't want to just start giving out so much information. It's that transformation that is needed. And that transformation cannot happen in a vacuum. It happens with you. But most of us are creatively exhausted. From the beginning of time, from the day we were born till date, we've just been living, consuming, going to school, creating, but we've not paused to listen to ourselves and say, what do I actually want to build? And how do I want to build it intentionally? How do I want to take care of my creative gifts? How do I want to build something sustainable for my creativity, not for the creativity of the world? And that's what we do with creative recovery. I think we've had like 15 sessions now, and the sessions are focused on things like dealing with guilt, dealing with envy, dealing with that creative burden and the creative pain that we have. And now that we've dealt with that in phase one, we're moving to a second phase, which is now building from within. But in order to build, we have to consume content. So we're not saying no to content totally, but we're saying build your sustainable system for your creativity based on your personal curriculum. We introduced the idea of building a personal curriculum because we said we want to stop chasing noise. We want to build systems that sustain us, and we want to recover our creative rhythm. A personal curriculum is you deciding that these are my skills, this is my knowledge, this is where I want to go to. So just the way you enroll for courses in a university, you are going to create kind of courses, then those courses could have books. So for example, if I want to improve my communication skills, I can have improv classes. I can have another book that I want to read. I can have podcast episodes that I want to read. So I list them out and I intentionally for 90 days attend those courses, and every month I score myself. That's a new twist I'm adding. That helps you to grow. It helps you to achieve some things for yourself because you're in your school of hard knocks. Who is going to disturb you? Nobody. You're the principal, you're the student, you're the teacher, you're everything. You're just determining who you listen to, and you're going to stop chasing noise. Most of us chase noise. And that's the truth. What's the definition of noise? When we hear noise, we just think it's something disturbing, something distracting, but sometimes there are good things that we are focused on that are actually noise. And what we need to do is understand that we play a significant role. We are not looking for flaws in ourselves. We're looking for signals. Last time we looked at patterns, and those was just pointing us to signals. There were signposts to signals of what is why we act the way we act. The question we asked last is, why don't you do what you said you would do? So you said, I will do X, Y, Z. You delay and you don't do it. Sometimes you resist it completely and you just say, there's something holding you back in your heart. You know that you should be doing something, but there's this resistance. Resistance could be as a result of fear. It could be as a result of barriers that you've placed there by yourselves unintentionally. Sometimes we actually forget. How many of us have said we'll write emails every week and we forget? How many of us have videos in our drafts that we've forgotten about? It is not a flaw. It is a signal. And one thing I said we're going to do this period with your personal curriculum is this. You're going to study yourself. You're going to understand yourself. You're going to read yourself the way you will read that book that you want to pass an exam, so you know yourself better than anybody else. We're Christians, so we can pray to God to give us guidance. But sometimes we need to sit silently with ourselves and say, why am I acting the way I act? Why do I overthink? When do I overthink? And one way to do this is by asking the right question answering the questions, but most importantly, it's about keeping a time log and observing what you've done. So this is what we've done so far this in this quarter, in this cohort. We've built your daily anchors. We've said set up your morning and evening non-negotiables, right? We've done pattern spotting, which is time logs, distractions, energy, highs, energy lows. We've discussed all that. We've done a diagnosis by saying if there's consistently a difference between your intentions and your actions, you need to understand why. So I intend to do this, but my actions do this. So what is that difference and why don't you do what you said you would do? Which is what we've done so far in building our personal curriculum. Now, when I say build your creative arsenal, I used to say it's just about your tools. But one part of the creative arsenal is the one that fuels your creativity. So there's an aspect of creative arsenal that is what you do, carries out the daily task. But you can't keep doing and feeding and acting. Like I use Canva, I use Gemini, I use ChatGPT, I use all these tools. They are the tools in my creative arsenal that I have decided to use. However, I also need to think about what fuels me, what fires me, what am I using to ensure that I keep burning? What are the books I'm reading? Who are the creators I'm listening to? What are the strategies that I am using? So most of us that do frameworks, okay, I'm going to be working with my framework. I need to go deeper into it. I did something with my framework and this might interest you. I asked ChatGPT, based on my philosophy of the world, based on all previous conversations, let's look out throughout history. Don't focus on just my industry, but I want you to think about my industry, other industries, blah, blah, throughout time. Who are the philosophers that align with what I say, and what are the philosophers that are in between, and who are the philosophers that I would disagree with? And I was amazed because I was like, so I'm not the only one thinking this crazy about slowing down. This is something that has been ongoing. It's not a new development. We are not building with random tools. We are not building with borrowed rhythms. We are building from within. And as we are building, we are fueling our creativity. Books, creators, and strategies help us do this. So why am I doing 3 times 3? 3 books, 3 creators, 3 strategies that would unlock your creativity. This is your toolkit. This is chosen by you. These are 3 books, the wisdom you want to return to, 3 creators or voices that inspire you. So your definition of a creator, somebody like John Maxwell, you can fall under a creator because he creates. You don't need to look at content creators only. And I would say, let's not limit this to our industry. So I would like us to kind of have a little chat about this. And 3 strategies that unlock your work, because your work is in you. You need to unlock it. I always tell people I don't build brands. I unlock what's in you. That's why we had unlocking creativity. I restore what's in you. That's why we had team restorative. All the things I do are not about me building. So that's why when somebody says, oh, I'm a celebrity brand strategist, I am like, I will not refer to myself as one. So if you see yourself being drawn to people like that like that celebrity status, then you know the type of creator you are. Books, creators, and strategies. So if I just say from the top, before we talk about this in depth, let's write 3 books that you think that you want to return to from the top of your head first. So let's do this quick exercise. 3 creators that inspire you right now, and 3 strategies that you want to unlock currently. It doesn't have to be something that is this thing, because there is a way to do it on the surface. Just look at this, then we can now go deeper and see how we will go. I just want you to think, ask ChatGPT these questions. So everybody ask your ChatGPT this question. Based on all that you know about me, if I'm building my creative arsenal, I will say that slowly because I want to see your results. Based on all that you know about me, if you're to build my creative arsenal, what would you choose? and then you give it the list. I'm going to put this in the chat so that you can just copy and paste. And I'll repeat the question in the chat. So based on all previous conversations and my journey, please build my creative arsenal. All right, so I've put it in the chat. When you are done, let me know. And I'm just going to do the same thing because I could ask more questions, which is what I will do. But let's see. Has anybody made an attempt to do this? Or do you need more time?
Can you hear me, ma?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So yes, I have. I don't understand what I'm saying.
All right. Do you want to, okay, tell me, share your screen instead and tell me.
I am on my phone. Like just actually video. It's not as if I don't understand what I'm saying. So I don't know why it's kind of mistaking me for you. Because at first, what I first said was DK's Jonah creative personal.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
supposed to
had
be
to,
your own chat GPT, not mine.
funny enough, I am using my own. So I had to go
How
check
did it
again.
call you DK Jonah? You've been doing so much work for me on your chat GPT. So correct it, please.
I'm
That-
like,
So
okay.
your response is DK Jonah is my boss, but based on how I write and other things that I have done, how would you answer this question? So not based on DK Jonah's work. So that should be your response.
I have to tell you that my name
Yes,
is Gloria.
exactly. My name is Gloria.
And
Mm-hmm. That's very funny.
yeah, it is. Okay. First thing I'm saying here is
It shows the love you have for me.
yeah, superpowers.
Sorry?
Connector of women and mamas. God.
Okay, I can't hear you, so you may have to share your screen so that we
Can you
can.
hear me, ma?
It's breaks sometimes, so you have to
Okay,
very.
the thing is, if I share my screen, you might not be able to hear me because I'm on my
Okay, okay. All right, so send me your chat. Put it in the chat instead.
okay.
Copy and paste. Isioma, what about you? Lena, what about you? Why Gloria is trying to figure us out.
Well, good evening,
Yes.
ma'am.
Good evening, Isioma.
Okay, so I don't know if I got it correctly, but okay, let me see work on this one. Let me see work on it.
No,
No,
just that prompt. You've just put that prompt, just that prompt only, and then allow it to. So what I typed in the chat, just put it there straight and give it, let it give you the response it gives you. Let
oh,
me.
Okay, well.
I'm not going in depth yet, don't worry.
Okay, let me take just a minute again. Let me take it just
All
a
right, okay, all right. Who else is ready? Should I show you mine? Let me just show mine instead. For me, I said, based on all you know about me, it said I should go for to shape my journey because I'm shaping my journey and frameworks and how I show up. I should read Deep Work. I should return to Deep Work by Cal Newport, which I have. The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. So it says it reinforces my focus on intentional practice and frequency. The other one speaks to resistance and the finisher's part aligned with my no gra principle. And then essentialism mirrors my drive to strip noise, find the core, the cocoa, and live from essence. Voices that could inspire me that I should listen to is only one voice I had never heard about. I don't know if anybody has heard about it, but we all know Austin Kleon. He wrote Still Like an Artist and Show Your Work. Talks about practical creativity, maps closely to my own clarity tools. James Clear, Consistency, Atomic Habits, which resonates with my sync system, which I have never read his book for some funny reason. Everybody recommends it, but I'm not reading it yet. Ijoma Oluo, I don't know who that is. It says voice, truth-telling, and framing complex issues clearly, echoing how I build frameworks that cut through noise. Then it now said, for framework building, I need to turn my essence into the shift, and it told me what I need to work on, frequency over feelings. I need to show up regardless of mood, clarity through reduction, cutting away noise, defining what's yours. And that's it. That's what it gave me. So you can see that I did not go deeper with that prompt. So that's all I did. I just put the prompt in there and I wanted it to give me something. Because now when you start asking more questions, it could lead to more ideas and more things. You said, deep work, big magic, yes, and atomic habits. Let me see why it said deep work for you. Because you balance a million acts and you often circle back to focus on productivity. Deep book give you a reminder that less noise, more impact. Big magic, which I have. For when you need to loosen up, laugh at perfectionism and let creativity feel joyful again. Knowing that they say you're not allowing yourself to relax and enjoy. Atomic habits, fantastic. He said you should listen to Brené Brown, Vulnerability and Courage, which is fantastic. But you are not a mom because you write a lot about moms. So what you need to tell it is to separate the work you do for moms from you. Do you understand? Then you should listen to Seth Godin and Marie Forleo. Interesting. I like that, but it did show me your three strategies. Why are we doing this exercise with the help of AI? So that we can actually see something that all of us have things that we want to learn. And when we're using AI acts as our prompts. They're not going to force us what to do. So Ishama and Nina, when you're ready, just post yours in the chat. But we're going through this journey. This is just on the surface. Now, if you start looking at the skills, your blind spots and other things, you can now build further and say, okay, this is this, this is this, this is this. Oh, I want to improve my communication and stuff like that. They said the body system, which is your accountability and co-working. See, test and tweak mindset instead of waiting for perfect good, and story before structure. You always find ways to start with a human story, whether in a community. So that gives you authenticity and relatability, which is just you. But remember, you are answering as yourself, not as your clients. So you have to now emphasize that, okay, give it a background of who you are and the brands you work for. That's what I will say. That's the only change I will make for you. Ishoma, based on all our conversations, 3 books and wisdoms, The War of Arts, all of us are getting similar books, but for different reasons. Did you notice that? That gives you a compass for navigating resistance and showing up to the work. Letters to a Young Poet by Raina Maria Rilke. Timeless guidance on inner life, solitude, and authentic creation. The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Ruby. I've never heard of this book, and these are good things. So let's all add all our books together to a list and see what we come up with. Gloria, help me copy the name of the books that you guys got. And I think for me, I really want to know who this lady is, Ijoma Oluo, because I'm like, I've never heard of perhaps I have, but does anybody know her? Really? So you want to talk about race? Okay. Interesting. I've never heard about her. I'll check her out. She even has a Substack with 31,000, and we are all supposed to start our Substack. So that just gives you something. So for those just joining, we did a simple task, which was basically asking your chat based on who you are now. They should recommend 3 books, 3 strategies, and 3 lessons. For me, I will say Strength Finder was a book that helped me. I always recommend Strength Finder from the top of my head to anybody. The reason is in 2014, when I read that book, it kind of transformed the way I got things done completely. It just changed it. Olinda, please let me put everything in a Google Doc. I think the chat may be continuous if we did that. So you're supposed to choose a book, 3 creators you admire. Remember, I said we use the word creators, or 3 people you want to learn from. They could be founders, but you could mix and match, and 3 strategies that you want to apply for the rest of this year. Our own strategy is Jaga Jaga, and we say productivity starts with Jaga Jaga, creativity starts with Jaga Jaga. And what that simply means is that you need to make a mess first, because when you make a mess, then you find clarity. But if you don't make a mess, you will never find clarity. Marian, so what we just did is I put this prompt in ChatGPT for everybody. I'm putting the prompt in the chat, and you're simply just going to ask it to do this for you. I think I added something to the first one. Let me see what I added to the first prompt. 1 second. I added something else to the first prompt. Okay, based on all conversations, blah, blah, blah. Why? We want to just pick up books, pick up things, but we want to pick it up based on the journey that we are on currently. And sometimes we need a diagnosis to help us. But we can go deeper to say, okay, what skills do I want to improve? If depending on your goals, if you want to do more workshops, there'll probably be a strategy that you need to stick to. But the strategies are 3 strategies that or approaches that unlock your work, 3 voices that inspire you, and 3 books or wisdom you return to. Those are the first stages, and we now went here. Now, another way to look at this, now that we've done that, is I'll give Maya and a couple of people time to sort out the other one. But we can now say, okay, what is my knowledge gap? What is my skill gap? And what is my behavioral gap or confidence gap or something like that? Because we have to identify the gaps in order to fill it up. So this is supposed to be kind of interactive, but it's still building up on the other one. The reason I'm saying that we should build this based on the gaps that we have is not so that we start flogging ourselves up, but it's a self-improvement journey. We are not outsourcing our personal development to others. We've done that for so long. We've built vision boards, we've built goals, we've built things based on others. Now we want to build for ourselves. And we want to build them based on what we know or what we want to know, or what we don't know that we should know, what we want to do, but we don't have the skill set to do it. Are there practical abilities you need to develop or own? So communication may be an ability that I need to own because I'm used to communicating behind the screen. But walking in front of somebody, doing a TED Talk is a different kind of communication. So that could be a skill I want to improve if I want to go on more interviews and not being the one interviewing. And if it's confidence or something like that, you can build from that. So take a couple of seconds also and think about yourself, where you are currently. What are the gaps that exist for you? Are there things that people have consistently told you about that you want to improve? You're being honest with yourself. You don't have to share it, but it's always good to start building based on the gaps that exist. Now, when we look at our strengths, we look at our gaps, we look at this, the aim is not just to improve your weaknesses, it's also to strengthen what you're good at. But we don't want to overwhelm ourselves within the next 90 days. At least we have almost more than 90 days for this year to end. And we don't want to overwhelm ourselves and say we'll do 9 every month. No, we have this 9 for 90 days, and then you can decide how you want to do it. But it has to be done intentionally. It's not going to happen by accident. It's something that you have to year and year and year, even if you know it. If it's something you already know, it's going to be a walk in the park for you, but still take it. Bet on yourself. Bet on yourself by investing in what you listen to. So many times we are listening to all these creators, so we are being drawn left, right, center. If I'm listening to 10 different creators telling me how to build my content library, I won't be able to grow because everybody has a different approach. Some people say sell, no matter what, sell. Oh, some people say go and dance on TikTok, go live on TikTok and just be doing gifters. Everybody has different strategies that they will tell you to do. So you can't listen to every single person. So make up your mind. You can say, okay, one creator of my list is, I'm taking this Sabiko course, so I can't take much more, so I will just look for 2 people. That is also fine. But build what you are learning with. That is, if you have learning goals. And if you don't, it's good to start this thing. What I want to say is the reason I did not just say these are 10 creators in the industry, in your industry, and spoon feed it to you is because I want it to be personal. I want whatever you're building in your creative arsenal to be something that works for you, not against you. So it has to be personal. We're not outsourcing this. Yes, you can ask people's opinions, but the decision lies with you. You are not outsourcing any part of your creative journey to anybody. No, you are taking full responsibility to say, I need to define who I am and I need to build. So remember, this is what fuels you. So if you are taking yoga classes and there's this yoga instructor that has built a wonderful place, then you build it. Are there some people that have done certain things that, oh, I can learn from their mistakes? Yes, once in a while you can watch some videos and they can inspire you. Don't get me wrong. But making that the focus of every single thing you're doing and just building randomly is not what we want. What we are looking for is how you can go from your arsenal and link it to your curriculum, which is why I said your creative arsenal fuels you, but it is what drives what is in your curriculum when you've chosen. If you say, for example, I said for me, communication is important to me, coaching is important to me, and I'm sure everybody will say that this is not a skill. Marketing. I hate promoting and marketing and sales. It's important to me. I will say, I want to read books on this. That will change who I am listening to. And when I'm listening to somebody in marketing, if the person and I don't agree with the person's stuff, I will drop it and listen. So for me, I've chosen Regina is somebody I'm going to follow what she's saying about building with your intellectual property, because that's what Victor has been telling me. Victor is somebody I'm listening to. Those 2 people are the people that I am going to stick with this period and do what they say I should do. I'm not going to be borrowing from every other person because that will distract me. I need to stay on track. That is it. I'm not just creating a list. We are building the foundation for our personal curriculum, which we've discussed. And remember, if you have any question at any point in time, do not hesitate to stop me so that we can go back or move forward. Yes, so there's a foundation for your creative curriculum. You're not building anything outside it. And this is what I always tell people. Lots of people are speaking outside in the world. Many people are making noise. Every day, the algorithm gives us noise. Twitter, somebody is trending. Jarvis and Pella, Jay-Z and Beyonce, everybody left, right, center, from different generations, you have different relationship fights, different generations. Even in your industry, there are some people that are not respected in your industry. Some people don't get paid for what they do in your industry. The world is noisy. Define the voices you listen to. Be intentional about who feeds you. Bible says, guard your heart with all diligence, but out of it flows the issues of your heart, right? So this is about you guarding your heart, your creative ability, and being intentional about who feeds you. Because it's based on what that person feeds you that will come, something creative will come out. There are different people in the creative sector that you can listen to. The people that appeal to me may not appeal to you. The podcasts I listen to, you will find them absolutely annoying. They are making noise. I know about the Try Guys. I know about Ned coming back. I know this. The amount of information I have about the digital landscape, some of us don't need that. Who is teaching you? Who is stopping you from scrolling? And when you make up this list of books that fuel your creativity, your creative arsenal, I want you to know that it's not about just writing a list. You have to now set your learning goals. So we are going this thing. Remember I said, first of all, we went through ChatGPT, we went through the skills. Then what do I want to learn? The knowledge that is missing. And why I'm saying that all these things should become learning goals. And you should schedule time to listen to the podcast. You should schedule time to read that email from that email list with a pen, and you're writing down things. That you should schedule time for all these things is because if you don't create time to create what matters to you, you will just become a consumer and a curator. So when you are building this, schedule time that you will do this. Today, I did a kind of a breakdown of how I want to, and I did it on pen and paper first before I took it into AI. And I can walk you through the process if we have time. But what I said was, I need to create time for my life. I need to create time for my practice. I need to create time for, I think I created a different list. And as part of my practice, which is we're all running a practice, remember. I need to create time to build. I need to create time to learn. I need to create time to teach. I need to create time to write. I need to create time to publish. I need to create time to review. Now I've written different things and I need to create time to learn. If I don't create time to learn and schedule that time, that at this time of the day, for people that are married, the kids are in bed. People that have adult children, the kids are watching TV and I don't need to think about what they will eat. Nobody's coming to ask me questions. They're at home, but I'm fine. For those that have babies, you know that, okay, the baby naps at this time. I can only get 30 minutes. Let that 30 minutes be useful. Or let that podcast just be playing in the background. So you already know that, I need to listen to this. Let that video, that teaching video just be playing in the background. So you are being in the present, you are enjoying the situation you are in, but you are listening to the things that you have to listen to, because at this time, that's what your capacity can give. You don't have the capacity to do 24/7 like others. You have responsibilities. With children, there are different levels of responsibilities. When they are babies and toddlers and they need you full time. When they are preteens and they need you, but they act as if they don't need you, but you still need to supervise them. When they're adults and almost out of the house and they still need you. Your time and your capacity will be different in all these things. But one thing you are not going to do this period is try and take on more than you can chew. So you're going to set that time and say, this is my learning time. This is time that I send my emails. This is the time I do my daily writing. This is the time I watch the replays. This is the time I do my task. Schedule it. If you can't schedule weekly, schedule monthly. Write a list of all the things you need to do then. Okay, I will do this on the Monday, on the first, I'll do this on the second. It doesn't have to be 7 days. But one thing you have to do is schedule, because later is not a date on the calendar. How did I know this was coming next? Neither is it a time on the clock. When you say you will do it later, I think I need to do a t-shirt with this saying. Later is not a date on the calendar, neither is a time on the clock. This is the next t-shirt we are doing, because you need to remind yourself when we say I will do it later, oh, I will create that time. Now is the time to create time. Now is the time to start writing your list. Now is the time to start building from within, because creativity is in you. Your personal curriculum is designed by you. Your arsenal is built by you. You choose the tools that you use. You don't need to use every tool everybody is using. You have to use the one that works for you. If AI isn't working for you, fine. If it's working for you, fine. You don't have to use all the AI platforms. You've chosen the one that works for you. Use it. But now, when we are building this aspect, so we're going to look at your needs before you build your creative arsenal. But when you are fueling that creativity, let it not be based on random things. I know that, yes, I've designed a curriculum to help you build out your strategy and to plan your content. Okay, I agree. But what I am asking you is to also pick what you are willing to do for yourself, the part that I can't help you with, that only you knows that struggle. What is that thing you're struggling with right now? I sound like a pastor. Is it consistency? Is it procrastination? Is it starting? Is it finishing? Is it forgetting? Is it distractions? Is it the ability not to say no? So if you know you're not able to say no, you know how to read boundaries, read books on boundaries, go and watch videos that people talk about boundaries. You know that that's something you are working on. And if that's something you work on, one of those things, you work on boundaries from beginning of this of October to the end of December, October, November, December, you know that you've done something wonderful for yourself. Set your learning goal. That is master sustainable content creation, for example. My arsenal sources are 3 books, 3 creators, 3 strategies. My application is my weekly reading, 1 experiment, 1 reflection, 1 share. Very, 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 very simple. Now, someone asked me a question the other day, which I think is quite a good question. That, okay, you give us many strategies, many things and stuff. This is what I will say. The ones that I feel that you could do, I will say you could do those ones. The one I feel that you must have that will build the foundation of what you should become or what you would become, I will say this is what you must have. This is one of the things you must have. We don't know everything, so we have to learn from people. But we don't want that the only books we read are the books that are trending. I'm not saying don't read trending books. The only creators we listen to are creators that are trending. And the strategies we now apply to our lives are strategies that every other person is doing that may not work for me and will work for someone else. So sit with yourself and say, okay, what are my learning goals? Where do I need help? How can I use resources to fuel this person that I am to become that person that I want to be? And that lies with you, no one else. So if you want to get a quick win and do something, the 4 things will be write your 3 by 3, but this is built based on your skills gap. So it's either a skill gap, a behavioral gap, or a knowledge gap. Try and look for those 3 things. Skill gap, behavioral gap, knowledge gap. These 3 gaps can help. Identifying these 3 gaps for yourself helps set you up for the future. Because you are not, normally when I tell you to identify these gaps, I'm always like, oh, before you create for any industry, understand the skill gap, behavioral gap, knowledge gap, and then you can now use that to build. That is one of the things that builds Sabi framework and creative recovery, because we noticed that a skill gap and a behavioral gap, this fills 3 things at once. A skill gap, people just keep going and they don't pause. A behavioral gap, okay, there are habits they are trying to build consistently, but they don't even know what these habits are. A knowledge gap, they are in the creative industry, they don't know what to do. They know what to do, but there's so much information, they don't know what to do first. They've tried all these things and they are disappointed because it did not work. Oh, I did this. Oh, in the past, this is how I did it. I don't want to be on this platform. I don't want to do this, but I want to make the money. I have like, okay, with these three came creative recovery. So whatever you are building should not just be a course for making money. Because out of this, when we are desperate, we make the worst decisions. Trust me, I've made the worst business decisions out of desperation. Now we're not doing this for others, but we're doing it for ourselves. So if you are not sure, based on the questions, based on the way you respond, ask ChatGPT to ask you a couple of questions to find out your skill gap, and then for your industry, your knowledge gap, and your behavioral gap. The behavioral gap is what prevents us from succeeding. Some of us, when we hear certain things, we are so critical that we just shut our mind and say we're not trying it. It's a learned behavior. It's a coping mechanism. We see other people, we just say, this one now, wow, we have something negative to say. We hail the ones that we feel are doing well. The ones that we don't like, when they don't do well, we shut our mind from them. It's a learned behavior. Lack of consistency is not, its consistency is what you do. It's a behavior. Your skill is how you do it. Questions. As we look at our task and everybody makes their commitment to say what they are doing for the task, please. Questions, observations, blah, blah, blah. So this kind of like a gentle reset. I don't want it to be forced, so it's not a long session. It's something gentle. It's something that you should think about, and it's something that I believe that if we put to practice, this will be on my must-do list for your creative recovery. It's not a could, it's not a coulda, it's not a shoulda, it's a must-do. Build from within. Be silent with yourself and be honest with yourself. I have said my own, when it comes to that marketing or asking, it's something. Oh, Mayan said the sound is still not working. Sorry, Mayan. I don't know what's going on. Can every other person hear me? Can any other person hear me? Okay, you can hear me. Okay, fine. All right, fantastic. Because you said sound still not working. All right, then. So please, this is your task for this week. It's quite straightforward. Let's try and do this task so that we are not pausing in between or forgetting the simple things, because now this is connected to something else that you're meant to have done, and it's connected to what you're going to do next week. If there are no questions, I will bid you all good night. At least I'm giving you back some extra time today. But these are the things that I am asking you to do. I've posted it in the chat if anybody wants to quickly copy it. And you're welcome. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. I will catch up with you another time. The transcript and everything will be ready within the next 12 hours. All right then. Cheers. Bye.